It's the way I can feel it in my mouth before I even say anything. And that little need to be understood, to be seen as not like that, to be sorted into the safer pile. Like if I pick the right words, the past will loosen its grip. Like language is a solvent. And I keep thinking about forgiveness because forgiveness is the closest ordinary thing we have to something this big. The way you hurt someone and you think the hardest part is admitting it. The way you stand there with your apology like it's a fragile object you carried without dropping. And you wait. And sometimes the person you hurt doesn't rush to comfort you. They just hold their distance. Not because they want you to suffer, because they're measuring. Because they've heard sorry before from people who meant it and still did it again. And in small life, that's hard. In small life, that already scrapes your ego raw. So imagine not small life. Imagine whole neighborhoods of sorry, whole decades of we didn't know, whole centuries of that was a long time ago, whole stretches of history where the harm wasn't an accident, it was policy, it was custom, it was the air. And the part that stings, the part I can feel trying to rise up in me, is this belief that I should be rewarded for noticing. Like awareness is bravery. Like naming it out loud is the same thing as paying for it. But it's not. Because what I'm stepping into isn't one person's mood. It's a ledger. It's a pattern so consistent it taught people what to expect before they even met you. And then there's this reflex, this very familiar, very polished reflex to make my feelings the center of the room, to treat distrust like an insult, to treat critique like cruelty, to act like the real injury is my discomfort. And that's when I know I'm losing the plot. Because discomfort is not oppression. It's not even close. And if somebody says you're not seeing it, and my first move is to defend myself, then I'm still choosing the old arrangement. Me protected, them accommodating. So the question becomes, what does sorry look like when it isn't a sentence? What does I'm with you look like when it costs something? When it's inconvenient? When it's socially expensive? When nobody is clapping? When the correction is sharp and I don't get to soften it by calling myself tender? Because that's the test, isn't it? Not whether I can say the right thing in the right moment, but whether I can be corrected without punishing the person who corrected me. Whether I can stay when I'm not centered. Whether I can show up without needing to be reassured that I'm one of the good ones. Because trust isn't something I can request like a customer asking for service. Trust is something people offer after they've watched you long enough to believe you won't disappear the second it gets uncomfortable. And I think that's the part that changes the shape of forgiveness here. It's not one apology. It's not one speech. It's not one season of awareness. It's a lifetime of choosing differently in small moments and big ones, until different isn't a claim, it's a track record. And if that takes time, if that takes skepticism, if that takes heat, then okay. Because asking people to trust you immediately after everything they lived through is just another version of asking them to carry you. And they've carried enough.